I think I accidentally killed Kane.
What happens after the circus? It is a question fans of the show has had on their minds ever since they saw the ending of episode 8. One of the most commonly predicted and theorized ending of the show is that there is no escaping the circus. Episode 8 may have confirmed that the Soma theory is real, and that our cast of lovable characters and Jax are nothing but data, just digital copies of the human selves.
I made a program that creates a body perfectly encapsulating their mind files, and they hate those too!
There's no way to escape because there is no body to escape to. And so, our cast of characters have no choice but to live their new life in the circus, rebuilding it and making it their own, with no Kane to control them. In a world controlled by the players, Zubul and Gangle can fuck like jackrabbits. But that's not where the story ends, because Gooseworx lied to us. The Amazing Digital Circus was never a standalone piece of work, but in fact, a prequel to what I would call the Elaine series. The Elaine series is what I refer to the animated shorts Gooseworx made before the Amazing Digital Circus. And what I found watching these really bizarre animated shorts is shocking. The Meatball Man still haunts my dreams.
I don't know what I'm doing! Ah! Shit! Fuck me! Ah!
The Elaine series reveals what truly happens after the digital circus, and you, my dear audience, may not like what you hear. This is the Amazing Digital Circus prequel theory. There's a surprising continuity between Gooseworx's earlier works. The two Elaine shorts, the Darly Boxman show, and of course who could forget, Ghost of the Year, seems to all take place in the same world.
And he's dead.
Oh, Darly Boxman. Will I ever be as good a host as you?
I guess Little Runmo counts as well, since the Meatball Man shows up in this one Darly Boxman video, but it's very confusing. It's honestly really charming, this world Gooseworx created. It felt like this was the original series Gooseworx was passionate about, before the Glitch Boys grabbed a hold of her and made her slave away for the digital circus. I don't think she's complaining though. I can't recommend enough to go watch these animated shorts yourself. It's fascinating to see an artist's early works that would eventually lead to what they're known for today. They're also just really entertaining. However, how are these series of shorts be connected in any way to the Amazing Digital Circus? Well, hear me out, lads. Hold on, you're not supposed to see that. Shit. Fuck. Ignore this.
Good boy. Such a...
Fuck! I mean, just look at all this. A lot of elements from Digital Circus are here in the Elaine series. They both have gamified elements as if they're actually a computer game. They both have those zany and wacky character designs. They both have weird, insane logic that don't make sense, having a world run on cartoon logic, and they both have glimpses of oddly realistic visuals and horror elements. Hell, in Elaine Gets Adopted, Elaine gets injected with a substance that causes her to hallucinate, going through something similar to what Jax experienced in episode 7. Perhaps the special drug Elaine was forced on has the same elements of the mustard that both Ragata and Zubul took in the digital circus. Clearly, this world and the digital circus are connected in some way, and the only conclusion I can come up with is that the world of the Elaine series came after the digital circus. But how? How did this dying world become this? Well, let's assume digital circus ends with a cast of characters staying at the circus, as I stated in the intro. Remember how in episode 8, Kinger says this?
We all technically have the ability to conjure, just like Kane. It just comes naturally to him, but requires a lot more skill and concentration for us.
What if this world is the result of the player's craft, changing the world into whatever they want? I mean, take a look at the NPCs. A lot of the NPCs could have been produced by the players themselves. The triangle and shape-head characters could have been made by Zubul. Characters like the big teeth guy feels like something Jax would make. And this invisible character feels like something Gangle would make. Her pathetic attempt at making a scary ghost. There's even a circus location canon to the Elaine series.
Hailing all the way from Fuzzner Circus City! Fuzzner Circus City!
What if this circus mentioned on this clip was originally the circus from the digital circus, now have evolved into Fuzzner Circus City? Okay, if the players are the ones who created the Elaine series, then where are they now? Well, sit down, because you're going to shit out your ass and punch your mother when I show you this.
What?
So what the fuck are they? They look very much like the abstracted players from the circus. It's not even subtle. Just look at it. Look at it. You can't tell me Gooseworx didn't plan this. Well, you can, but shush. I think these are actually what happened to the players. The Elaine series takes place years after the digital circus, and the players have become another form of abstraction, as they become somewhat animalistic, literally devouring the data from this mouth guy. And of course, they look like abstracted characters from the original show. The players, being human consciousness and not AI, had caused them to slowly deteriorate over time, as they weren't built to have extensive control of this world, becoming one with one another, a hive mind that oversees the world they have created. Influencing the world themselves have caused the human mind to become one with the machine, the world even, not being the independent humans they once were. Perhaps sacrificing their individualistic consciousness to give life to the NPCs they have created, to further prove the fact that these things are the ones behind the world and not just funny little NPCs. When they absorb the data from Mount Guy and Elaine notices back in the normal world that she herself has become pieces of the world. Clearly, these abstracted things, which could maybe the past players, have greater control over the world. Zubul wanted to leave their mark in the world, so they became one.
Ironic.
So that's it, right? Digital Circus is the prequel series to the Elaine series, and the players have become these things. That's all there is to it. That's all she wrote. Fuck off now. But there's something about the Elaine series that unsettles me. Something that bothers my mind. It's like an itch I can't scratch. Why are you showing a picture of Alex Bale? One question that plagues my mind ever since I set eyes on Gooseworx channel. And that is, who the fuck are you? Within the Elaine series, there's a character named Darly Boxman. They even got their own video. 3 actually. He acts as the host for this old children's show.
Why are you so mad at me? Okay, that's it, you little son of a bitch!
And if we are to believe the credits and the text at the end of the video, the actor for Darly Boxman disappeared in 2005, and this is archival footage. especially since this footage is being watched by this Kane wannabe. But here's the thing, anything Gooseworx writes, I don't trust. Have you seen her Twitter posts? I don't think you should trust most text in this series. Now, I know that sounds like a cop-out to make my outlandish theory work. And it is. You greedy dirtbag! But you have to understand, half the stuff in these shorts are bullshit. Why wouldn't the text be? This guy is apparently alive since 1957, assuming this all takes place in 2025, as the ghost video suggests. And these characters were around in World War I. Did Nazi Germany happen in the Elaine series? To me, this is all just random information that was brought in by the players, not the actual world's timeline. Little backstories and extra data to make the world feel more alive and lived in. So the credits saying Darly is played by an actor and the ending text? Bullshit! What if I told you that Darly Boxman is the last ever human mind file within the circus? The last ever whose mind is replicated into the digital world and has yet to ascend to a higher power. Just because there's no Kane to hold the circus down, that doesn't mean people can't just randomly get sucked into the world. But unlike Pomni, who had other humans as a support group to keep her sane, all Darly Boxman have are NPCs. But how can we be sure that he's even human? Well, near the end of the show, for like 1 second, we flash to a version of him that has a brain.
You all ready to go?
Now, cartoony organs isn't something uncommon in this world. But what if this is a scan? A mind scan of his human brain, the same way the other humans in the circus have been transported here. If this was just a simple gore flashbang, why not also have the muscles, the lungs, or heart, or other organs? No, Gooseworx specifically showed the brain because that is what allows humans to be transported into the digital circus. And when Darly looks at the back of his Darly box car, why does he see a ruined hallway? Because that is one of the last things he saw before being transported into the digital world.
I was an accountant for a supermarket chain.
A supermarket? How'd you end up here?
Well, I sometimes got bored of things, and I would seek out mild thrills like exploring abandoned buildings.
Exploring abandoned buildings.
But it doesn't end there, folks. What if Darly tried to escape, but being only a mind file, there was only one way how: by destroying the digital world. But of course, the elevated players won't allow that to happen, for they created their heaven, which is a hell Darly is stuck in, and so they trapped and punished him. Punish him by being stuck in a rerun of a show that only one of the NPCs seemed to care about, unable to escape, constantly watched by the elevated ones. And maybe the Meatball Man as well. That's why in the episode, he seems agitated and insane. As he is being forced to do a show, unable to do anything else. And isn't it ironic that their way of torturing this man is forcing him to become the host of a show, mirroring the past player's tormentor.
Welcome to the Amazing Digital Circus! My name is Kane. I'm your ringmaster.
Hey kids! Welcome back to the show! I'd do the normal thing and catch you up on what we've been doing out here, but there's simply no time!
But why would they do this? That seems very out of character for them. Well, that's because becoming elevated takes away a lot of themselves, and so they don't have the empathy for Darly as they would have originally. They have become the Kane of this new world, the M of this new world. And if you still don't believe me, there's a video within Gooseworx's second channel that is literally the same thing as the Darly video, with the only difference being Darly isn't speaking. And do you know what the thumbnail for that video is? I have no mouth, and I must scream. The direct inspiration for the digital circus.
Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live. There are 387.44 million miles of printed circuits in wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. If the word hate was engraved on each nanoangstrom of those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for humans at this micro-instant. For you, hate. Hate.